For any of you out there that have been sweating or fretting about your IELTS writing task one, it really doesn't matter what question you get, whether you're looking at a bar graph, a pie chart, line graph, flow chart, whatever. It's all good because I am going to give you some very solid study tips that will help you with your structure and help you to meet all of the examiner evaluation criteria so that ideally you can bring home at least an 8 plus score if you can put all of these tips into play. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Kevin. I'm an English teacher and a writer. What we are trying to do with these little videos and classes is to give you some exceptional ways that you can make the most of your words for English speaking and writing, whether it be for academics, work, everyday life, or to pass a test such as IELTS and TOEFL. Today our focus is on the IELTS writing task 1. As you should probably know, if you are studying for the test, you have 20 minutes to write approximately 150 words, ideally more. And the first thing that we want to look at is how you are going to get your mark. The 4 items that make up your mark for the IELTS writing task 1 are task achievement, cohesion, and coherence. Coherence and cohesion, which we have talked about before. Remember that coherence is making points that are logical and clear, and cohesion means having them be connected. Your lexical resources are, of course, the report vocabulary that you put into play here and other high-level vocabulary as well. Finally, your grammatical range is using a range that is many kinds of grammar that are in different tenses, basically, and complex grammar structure. I want to just highlight a little bit spend a moment on the task achievement here, because it's something that maybe it's very general. Task achievement, what does that mean? Well, you need to give a clear overview of all of the features presented in the graph that you are looking at. Usually it's some kind of graph or a chart. All the main information. And you need to, excuse me, you need to look at the trends, the differences, or certain stages if it's a flow chart. And then basically you need to put all of that together in a proper report style of structure. The key study tips that we will be following today and trying to sponge up so that we can use them naturally are: number 1, structure. Number 2, identify and compare the main features of the graph. And finally, we're gonna meet that vocabulary component, the lexical resources. We can check that off by using some linking phrases and standard report kind of vocabulary. It's very important that you organize all your information into 4 paragraphs. Right off the hop, we can see the little note here. The overview can come after the intro or as a separate conclusion. In this case, we're going to put the overview at the start. That will be our paragraph 2. Paragraph 1, introduction. Paragraph 2, overview. Paragraph 3, body, where we're identifying and comparing the main features, probably looking at some similarities or differences, depending on which we have more of, we'll do first. And then the final paragraph is again comparing and identifying those main features, maybe looking at, again, similarities or something opposite from paragraph 3. So we have an example else question here to guide us and follow. We're doing the introduction. And the main thing you want to do is to paraphrase, that is, use different words with the same meaning. The question, paraphrase the question, and include some of the elements of the graph. What's the graph all about? What is the topic here? So we can see it. I'm not going to read through that, but basically we're looking at the fast food consumption in America over a 3-year period. Introduction is as follows. The bar graph uses percentage of population and 6 categories of frequency, how often, to illustrate how often Americans ate in fast food restaurants in the years 2003, 2006, and 2013. That is our introduction. We have paraphrased the question and included all the main elements of the graph. Paragraph number 2 is our overview. An overview is kind of looking at the general points that stand out. This is very important here. We're getting the points that stand out, and we're just kind of writing a little summary of it, and then we will expand and give all the evidence in our body paragraphs 3 and 4. A major trend demonstrated within this chart is that around 1/3 of the populace enjoyed fast food at least a couple times a month throughout these years, whereas percentages for everyday or zero consumption were significantly lower. Ooh, it's a long sentence, but it does work because we have the whereas, which is a comparing linking word that helps us to connect these clauses together. As you can see here, we have paragraph 1, the intro, and paragraph 2, the overview put together. Beautiful. We are rolling right along, warming up nicely, getting into the body, which is the heart and soul of any paper. It shows your evidence and your reasoning. In this case, with the IELTS writing task 1, it's a report. There's no opinion. You just have to take that information, find it, make sure you don't miss the key features, and put it into your body using the right vocabulary. So we're comparing the main features and we're looking at similarities. I'll just give you a couple moments here to look at the graph, look for some main features that stand out for you, because this is the kind of practice exercise that we want to look at later, which really comes in handy. So take about 30 seconds and just look at that graph and maybe write down a couple main features that you see. This is a longer answer. Again, your minimum requirement is 150 words. If you can do more, then by all means do so. I'm just giving you longer answers because I'm trying to give you more examples. One notable pattern that remained consistent in all 3 years is that nearly 5% of people either ate fast food every day or not at all. Moreover, those who frequented these restaurants several times a week or a few times annually accounted for a greater percentage of 15 to 20, which peaked in 2006, yet otherwise remained relative throughout the time surveyed. Finally, there was a similar percentage of people, ranging from 25 to 33, who purchased fast food once a week or twice a month in all 3 years, comprising the greatest amount of fast food consumption. You don't have to make your sentences so long. It's a little bit more of a complex grammar structure, but if you can get in the points and put the commas in the right places, then you can achieve this. Okay, for paragraph 4, we're looking at some main features again, and we want to try to contrast. So if we can find any differences, then it's a perfect opportunity to put them in this paragraph. By contrast, it is evident that the percentage of citizens who either ate fast food every day at less than 5%, or never at around 5%, displays a great disparity from those who had it 2 to 4 times monthly, which reached its zenith, its peak, in 2006 and 2013 at roughly 34%. Despite these differences, there's a small difference between those who ate fast food once or twice a month in 2006 and 2013 at 25 and 35%, respectively. There you have it. That is a real nice reference for you to follow in terms of your structure in giving a model answer. We want to break things down a little bit now, and we'll go over the same model answer and just focus in on some vocabulary. So we have verbs, nouns, and collocations that will help you achieve a high score in terms of lexical resources. Let's break down paragraph 1 and focus in on some of the vocabulary here. So you can see here in our introduction, we have percentage, population. We have the categories, frequency, and to illustrate. Illustrate, show, demonstrate, very important words that can be used in any essay or report. Frequency is how often. We've highlighted the key vocabulary in paragraph 2, our overview, a major trend demonstrated. So we say illustrate, but now we say demonstrate. Again, keep building those synonyms that give you a greater diversity and range of vocabulary. The chart, populace, which means population. Whereas, so we're comparing, whereas percentages, again, for everyday or zero consumption, just eating, to consume something, to buy or to eat, were significantly lower. So instead of they were lower, they were less, they were significantly lower. For paragraph 3, we have a notable pattern that remained consistent, remained the same, stayed the same. Linking phrase to add another point. Moreover, those who went to or frequented these restaurants accounted for, made up, comprised, accounted for, a very, very key report vocabulary. Otherwise remained relative. Relative means the same. Again, a similar percentage and ranging from. A range, similar. We're just measuring some of these differences. By contrast, so now we're comparing again. It's evident. It is apparent. It is clear. We can see. These words all mean the same. We have a large disparity, a big gap, a large disparity. Despite a small margin. You can see here we have the complete model answer in front of you for you to sponge up. And for each key piece of information, you want to get your best vocabulary for up, down, slow, fast, stable. We have a few examples here. If something's rising, it's increasing, it's skyrocketing. That means going way up, soaring, upward trend. Here we have some examples for down. And keep in mind as well that we need to know if it's going, not just how it's moving, like up or down, but how quickly it's moving in those directions as well. So we can see words like plunge or plummet, which is like a quick drop, to decrease. It could be like decline steadily, slowly going down. We really want to pinpoint, give the exact words to describe those movements on the graphs. And we have changes, moderate, stable, steady, slight. Those are some good words to start with. There are so many lists of vocabulary online, and you're not going to use all of them. Go and get your favorites. For a daily practice, your self practice, which I advise you to do at least 15 minutes a day. If you're cramming for this test, take a model question, spend 5 minutes. Remember, your planning is very, very important. You have 20 minutes, but please do spend 5 minutes in the test, giving yourself a solid game plan. It will really help you to be organized and well structured. That pretty much concludes our comprehensive video on IELTS writing task one. If you're not taking IELTS, but you're looking to write a report, then this can also be very helpful to you. Put these tips into play, guys. Really, it's not about opinion or reasons now. You have all the information. It's given to you in numbers, in a visual chart or graph. Take it, convert it, use the vocabulary, use the structure, get those main features, and you will bring home a mark to be very proud of. Thank you so much for checking out this little video, and I hope you stay in great spirits and health. It may be gray and gloomy, but that doesn't mean that you can't have sunshine in your heart. We'll see you next time.